Hello and welcome. My name is JesseMcDesign. Today, we're going to be carving this jack-o'-lantern. Let's get started. Alright, so it's officially October, and although I stay pretty spooky all year long, that means a few extra Halloween type projects. And one of those that I always like to try to get in every year, which doesn't always happen, but that's okay, is to carve a pumpkin. And a few years ago, I stopped doing like the traditional jack-o'-lantern faces and all that and started getting into like the 3D carving and really making it look realistic and stuff. So that's what we're gonna do today. Normally, I'll try to find a traditional horror character or something. I've done Pennywise in the past. But this year, I'm gonna do just like a generic, creepy old man type deal. And I found this one pumpkin that had like this huge gash in the forehead that I'm gonna try to incorporate into this, that I think will look pretty cool and add some detail and make this thing look extra creepy and scary. But first things first is we're gonna actually use my projector to project one of those main faces just to get a good rough idea of what we want onto this, and we're just gonna quickly trace this out. So now that we got our outline, you can kind of see what we got going on. Kind of hard to see, but got the little details there. And then I got my reference here. I'm going to be switching back and forth between this and a side profile of another like old man looking guy, and then I'm going to put this gash in the head. After I rough in this, I'll probably cut out the top and do that whole thing, gut it out and everything, and then we'll go in and start getting all the details. Also, if you're curious about what tools I'm going to be using, just a generic knife just to really cut big chunks out. And then I have a bunch of like wood carving tools. Actually, they're all various. That's for really just getting through the hard outer layer, because it truly is like very hard to cut and get through that a little bit. But once we get into like the meat of the pumpkin, we can actually start going in with these little tools. I don't know how well you can see those, which I believe are just like clay tools. Those are just like a metal wire that you can just kind of carve out. And then, like I said, that inner meat is a little bit softer, and we can start using these to help us get all those nice little details. And then at the very end, we can use a modeling stick similar to something like this, and really go in and define, you know, this is an old man, so he's got a lot of wrinkles and weird things like that, and we can really get in there and just fine-tune little spots like that. Right now, we're just gonna start chopping away, getting some of these facial features defined a little bit more, you know, get these eyes sunken in quite a ways, get the nose coming out a little bit more, and just really just rough shaping some of these shapes. Now that we got a pretty good start, you can kind of see what we got going on now. It's super rough. Obviously, I just wanted to get most of that surface skin, if that's what you want to call it, off. It's very hard, and you can't really use like these little wire tools, which I like to use a lot. They're a lot easier to use. You can really smooth things out and make it look nice. So now what we're going to do is I started punching out some of this gash in my head, and I think I'm going to do that a little bit more so I know how thick we're working with, and then we can really start defining some of these facial features and making this look a little bit better. Alright, so we're just plugging away. You can kind of see here that I'm trying to work the profile now a little bit more. You can really see how much of the shape of the nose and the mouth is starting to work, and the chin's a little bit in. You can kind of see the crook of the nose a little bit there. And we're just, again, just working everything down. It's kind of tricky when working with something like this because you don't want to go too far and poke through the wall of the pumpkin. I can kind of tell how much meat I got with these holes up here. It's usually the same throughout a whole pumpkin. So again, it's rough thickness that I'm working with here, but I'm just going over spaces and just carving things deeper and deeper until I feel comfortable with it and how it's looking. I'm basically just gonna continue what I've been doing and just start really refining some of this stuff. I've got some of these wrinkles started, and we're gonna start working these eyes in as far as they can really go to set that depth, and then we'll start just blending everything out, and we'll get that nose poked out a little bit more, I think. No, I think it'll be nice when it's all done. So we're coming up on the last little bit here. You can kind of see this side is really starting to come together. I'm starting to put in some finer details. We've got those like wrinkles here on the chin, and really just fleshing things out, making it look really nice. You can kind of see the details in the eye there, and then you can really see that profile, you know, that weird crooked nose and everything. But we're coming up on the last little bit here. We're working on this last half over here, and then I'll probably go back in and do a couple of little more details, you know, making sure these wrinkles are how I like them and make sure it looks really nice. So we'll do one more time lapse, get you those final shots, and then my final thoughts. All right, so there you have it. Super happy with how this thing came out. I tried going in with, you know, just the point of that wood piece and really getting some of these wrinkles in there and just trying to get some finer details in here than I normally would. Like I said, I've been trying to do these at least once a year. It doesn't always happen, but when I do, I'm pretty excited about them. I tend to default to this weird, old, creepy person if I don't find a character that I'm super happy with and I want to try to recreate. I think if I do it again, I might try to do that other than this. Not that I'm not excited about this or happy with it, it's just kind of different. I feel like I've done pretty much the same thing before a couple years ago. Other than, like, you know, some details like the gash in the head, I thought that was a really neat idea. You know, you can peek in there and see the guts of the pumpkin, which be the brain or whatever, you know, it's kind of that extra creepy feel to it. But who knows? I might do another one since they're fairly quick for me to do, and it's still only the beginning of October. So if you want to see me do another one, leave it in the comments below. But if you like what you saw, hit the thumbs up. It really helps. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe. I'm always over here doing some sort of creative thing, art, furniture, home decor. Who knows? See you on the next one.